Hello, I am your host Kimchi.
And I'm John Kong.
Excuse my lack of energy because if I talk to it any higher energy than this, I'll start coughing. Sorry. I've had the flu for like 6 days now.
We confirmed it's a flu?
I mean, it wasn't COVID.
Oh well, yeah. Did you go to the doctor?
No, this is America.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
You can't just like get an appointment and go. When you make an appointment, it's like, all right, the doctor's free on February 3rd.
Yeah.
Like
and by that time,
8
you're barely even sick anymore. If it's like the flu or the cold, it's like barely a point. Oh, have you ever made garlic soup?
Garlic soup? No.
You should make it. It's like been proven to help and like reduce colds and flus by like half the time and severity as well. Especially if you're stuck in it. All you have to do is just like literally boil just go buy one of those packages of pre-peeled garlic from the store because when you're sick you just don't want to. Last thing we want to do is peel garlic. Put that in a pot with some chicken broth, a tiny little bit of salt. You can spice it up with some thyme if you want to, and just boil that. And like the more cloves, we're talking like 20, 30 garlic cloves. And then you just drink that soup and it like nukes your body. Yeah.
That sounds good. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't had like any appetite. And when I do eat something, I get like full after like 2 bites and everything just tastes bitter. So there's no joy in life right now.
Except butter.
Yeah, I have not left the house. I've just been like at home sick.
Well, I pulled my back the other day and now I can barely move. We're just old.
Are we? I mean, you're old for sure.
Thanks. While doing squats, I fucked up my back and pulled my groin at the same time, so I can't like bend backwards or forwards. So
okay, so when you're young and you get sick, you like cook up like Campbell's chicken noodle soup. That's kind of like the American like cure for getting sick. I haven't had one in years, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna order this like along with like some Gatorade, and see if it works out.
It's very salty.
It was disgusting.
Okay.
Okay, so first of all, it's salty, which I get. Like salt is good for you, but
Right.
the chicken was like rubbery, like and so hard, and then
the carrots
noodles
were like
just
mush.
like mushy.
Yeah.
And then the broth was tinny and super salty, but then also it was like flavorless at the same time.
I have a feeling that like canned soups and stuff like that, like I feel like they might have been healthy at some point in time, but they probably haven't been for a very long time.
Like, I'm like, this cannot be like a cure.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's like whether it be like them cutting corners from shrinkflation and stuff. I remember it tasting pretty good, but I was also a child back then. But things do live better in memory. But also, as companies find ways to cut corners, things do go down in quality overall.
It's true.
Better to just buy like some, like at least some like box broth or something that's just a little less overtly processed if you could afford it. In LA, there's got to be like some kind of broth delivery. Isn't somebody delivering bone broth in LA?
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, you should do that.
I mean, but that wasn't my point. It's not an issue of like me not finding bone broth. I'm just trying to say is like I cannot believe like Campbell's chicken noodle soup is like so normalized as being like a healthy food cure when it's so disgusting.
Yeah. I don't think I've had that association with them for a very long time.
I feel like American cures are like really weird because like isn't like the typical like American kids like their experience when you're sick is like saltines, ginger ale, and like Campbell's noodle soup.
Well, ginger ale, there's some validity to that because actually people don't think of sugar as being good for your stomach, but sugar does calm your stomach, at least in terms of like Chinese medicine, and then ginger. So like Verner's, when you feel bad, if you don't know what Verner's is, it's like a Michigan ginger soda, and it's like super gingery and it's delicious. But
Do you think like ginger beer will be better then because it's more gingery?
yeah, it probably is. But like, ginger beer probably is too spicy for like a lot of kids.
Because I feel like a regular ginger ale, I feel like just like, is it even like real ginger? Or it's just like ginger flavoring.
It's probably ginger extract.
Mm.
What are some Korean cures for like the flu and the cold?
Just like every other Asian country, rice porridge.
Oh yeah.
A rice porridge with like either vegetables or like shredded chicken meat, you know. Fruits that are like high in vitamin C, like oranges and things like that.
Yeah, Chinese medicinal stuff gets really in depth and complicated. Like you've seen those like Chinese medicine shops where they got like antlers and shit and all of that stuff. Some of it, I'm sure, there's validity to it because like there's some simple ones like fennel and a lot of spice-based cures. Some of them get like really, really involved. But like whenever, I don't know, when my mom got sick and stuff, I would remember her like cooking up some Chinese medicine stuff on the stove. It would always be like in a double boiler clay pot, and it would smell and taste awful. So bad. That is on top of like all the congee and soups and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a whole thing, and it's very complicated, but does not taste good at all.
Either way, I just wish it was easier to go to the hospital in America.
You can't even get yourself to like urgent care?
Do I look like I have like money growing out of trees?
I know. I don't know. I don't know how much urgent care is in LA.
I don't know.
I mean, what they're probably just going to give you fluids and some high strength Tylenol and a bill for like $1,200. Or okay, I definitely do not live in LA. So
I mean, I lost faith in emergency care system after my pet got sick.
No, you're what?
A few years ago when my pet was sick and he kept like throwing up everything he ate. I took him to the emergency room and they're like, and they like ran some tests. They're like, yeah, we can't figure out like what's wrong with him, but we'll keep him here overnight.
That was when there was like a ball inside him, right?
Well, I'm
or something like that. Sorry.
Ruined the story.
Spoiler alert. Sorry.
You can't tell someone's like punchline before they get to it. But yeah, like we're gonna keep your dog here overnight, but it's gonna be $7,000. And I'm like, I'm not paying $7,000 for you guys just to like not know what's wrong with him. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So then I took him to like another hospital and then like right away they found out, oh, he has like a ball, like something like lodged up in here. Let's shoot him like an extra like ultrasound. And in the previous X-rays didn't like catch what was like blocking his intestine because it was like a plastic ball. But the ultrasound caught it, and then they were able to get it out right away. So I was like, yeah,
that's insane, but not surprising considering your baby.
Yeah, but also like to have such like drastic like difference from one place to the other.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I just cannot believe the other place solution is like, yeah, we don't know what's wrong, but
we'll just keep them around and charge you like a massive hotel fee
for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I've only been to emergency room one time, and it was like in Chicago, wherein I accidentally sliced my hand. And I waited 7 hours.
Yeah.
While my hand is bleeding, but like I was in pain. But then there was another guy whose entire like knee had gone out because I guess like he like fell into like a nail or something while playing soccer or something. So his entire like knee was like carved out. But and I was like sitting like next to him, and he's like in pain, like screaming, and like, the doctor didn't see him for like 5 hours. So we were just, like, how is this like an emergency care when, like clearly like he needs to be seen right away, like my hand can wait, but
yeah, it's wild. Like people always talk about how Canadian wait times on their healthcare system, it's so long, but it's like we wait too. We wait just as long
we wait just as long,
like,
and
yeah.
And they never give you like a bill like right then and there. Or even when you ask like, how much do you think it'll cost me? They don't tell you. They're like, oh, you get a bill in the mail,
Yeah. Oh, did you hear that they're starting to do like premium hospital care plans?
What's that?
So like, it's pretty much like Equinox, but for healthcare.
Oh.
So it's like, because our healthcare system is so like shitty now that even like rich people like just have an easier time just like paying into a plan for executive doctors and surgeons and hospitals and stuff like that, just so they can just like bypass all the shittiness of our own system and just like have pretty much lux level care for them.
Oh my God, yeah. This week I had another struggle with my insurance too. My doctor sent a prescription to the pharmacy, and then my insurance like randomly just like told him like the health insurance with this client has been terminated as of like 12 December 31st, like 23. And I'm like, wait, why was my health thing like terminated? Like for no reason. And I like went online, and then I was like still signed to the insurance. So then I called, and I was put on hold for literally like 40 minutes, and then finally got to someone, right?
Yeah.
And the person was like, hi, how can I help you? And I explained like what was happening.
Yeah.
And then the person was like, okay. And then they just hung up. And I'm like,
what health insurance is this? What the fuck?
So then I called back and then waited like another like 40 minutes to be finally connected again.
Yeah.
So then they're like, so I was like, okay, so what just happened? What's wrong? And they're like, oh, I think they must have sent the wrong email because you're still
covered.
You're still like covered. But I'm like, how does that happen in this modern day and age?
Who knows? I mean, it's when you privatize something like healthcare and when you make it like a for-profit thing, like it's never good, because how do people make a profit off of something like this? They cut corners, they cut care, they don't care as much, they cut services. Like it's not something that I believe should be. Healthcare is one of those things where I thinks that should be totally socialized, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Michigan got its first Jollibee.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, we just got a Jollibee.
On a brighter news.
I know.
Michigan is finally livable.
Yeah. Honestly, like, yeah. Yeah, I'm so excited. But still like really far away. I think it's like Sterling Heights or something. I don't even know. How far is that from... Oh, wait, let me check first. Jollibee, Michigan. Yeah, it's in Sterling Heights. How far is that from me? That is 7 hours. Oh, that's to walk. 40 minutes. Ugh.
That's not that bad.
That is so far.
40 minutes?
Yes. Who wants to be in a car for 40 minutes? I'll have to like make a trip of it and like do a bunch of stuff while I'm up there to make it worth it.
Oh my God, 40 minutes is like nothing.
That's too far. That's too far to drive. I live a weird life in Detroit where it's like if it's more than 15 minutes in a car, then I'm not interested in going.
Okay, so what I want to talk about. You know who's not having a good week?
No, who?
Joe Coy.
Oh, where did he come from? I'd never heard of him before the Golden Globes.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
And probably better off for him if I never did. But like, yeah, what the hell was that?
I only knew about him because he used to come on the Chelsea Handler show every now and then.
Okay. Was he funny then?
No.
Oh.
And then he released a movie a couple of years ago.
He had a movie?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I guess it was a bit controversial because I think it was like Meet the Parents, kind of like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But like all the jokes were like making fun of like the Filipino side of the family.
Oh.
I didn't.
Basically, like, were they trying to hope for like another Ricky Gervais type situation where he was like clever but really abrasive and really controversial, but at the same time was like could get away with it almost?
Yeah, I think that's what they were hoping for.
Well, they really should have just begged Amy Poehler and Tina Fey to come back.
Honestly, there's a lot of people that they could have asked that would have been fabulous, you know?
They could have been. They could have asked Anne Hathaway and what's his face to come back. Oh wait, that was the Oscars, but they could have asked them anyway. That would have still been better. Like that was terrible. I mean, like most entertaining thing about that whole thing was watching everyone's reactions.
You know, that's crazy too, because like, did you see Taylor Swift's reaction?
Oh my God, yeah.
So every time like I see that video posted, all the comments are like, she's a celebrity. Like she needs to have like a more sense of like humor about herself, or
yeah, but it has to be funny.
But also, she really didn't do anything. All she did was just took a sip of her drink.
Yeah.
And people are acting like she was like sitting there with her like arms crossed, like mad, like spewing.
It's so funny how like the people who are the subject of jokes, especially when they are some kind of minority, whether it be like women or people of color or queer people, like they always, if we do not react in a way that makes the situation less uncomfortable, people like to act like the whole uncomfortable situation is like their and our fault. And not the person who is making the situation uncomfortable, which is the person who's telling them a bad joke. And I was thinking about this the other day about like the comedians, like actually the recent comedians like Ricky Gervais and what's his name? Man from Ohio.
There's a lot of men from Ohio.
Dave Chappelle. Yeah, I was thinking about this the other way. Like those two, like I had seen, I'm gonna say like racial comedy. Or like racially, like, yeah, racial comedy, that would be admittedly like funny on TikTok. Like people who make jokes about stuff like, and I was like, oh, okay, this is funny, but in a way, probably because in a way that they don't make the person a victim, they just do really good observations about culture and they say it in a funny way. And it's like, yeah, people who complain that society has gotten woke and you can't tell jokes anymore, like, it's not even that. It's just like you're not funny. Like being a comedian is being a commentator. Being a comedian is getting away with it. It's like people who like operate in culture and like commentary and stuff like that. Like, yeah, what you say can be controversial, but if you deliver it in a way that is effective and not in their cases, like at this point, cheap shots, like, yeah, you can make your point and do it in a funny way. But like, unfortunately, when comedians get extremely wealthy, they just get out of touch and have like no longer are able to communicate with everyday people.
It's true.
Yeah.
And that's why you won't ever become rich.
Yeah.
Stay relatable.
Kim's like, I can't wait till I'm fucking out of touch. I don't want to know how to order a pizza.
Can I buy potato chips with a credit card?
Wait, who was it that was talking about that celebrity who like their assistant was on their day off, so they had to like phone a friend of theirs to ask them to order them a pizza because they did not know how to do it themselves.
Oh my God.
But it was like a big A-list celebrity. Kim's like, I want that.
That sounds like something like Gwyneth Paltrow would do.
It probably is. It probably is. But no, she wouldn't order pizza.
I don't think she'll actually sit there and make pizza either.
No, like yeah. Do IV bags come in pizza flavor?
I don't know.
She has it plumped into her veins. It's like, pineapple.
But anyways, back to this whole like Joe Coy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like let's stop making excuses for like shitty like male comedians that make like out of touch, like out of date sexist jokes.
Yeah.
However, it's so funny because when George Santos was like, you know, the celebrity of the week, and everyone was like, please stop talking about George Santos.
I was one of those people.
And then Gypsy Rose came by and then took that thunder away and stopped talking about George Santos.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, stop talking about Gypsy. Like, don't make this girl a celebrity. You know, she's like a trauma victim or like blah, blah, blah. Like, she doesn't need to be a celebrity. Well, now that he just moved on to Joe Coy.
Yeah, right. Well, I didn't know anything about the Gypsy Rose thing until like this all came out. But her story is insane.
Right.
I was kind of like all about Joy Bear. Is that how you say her last name?
Joy Bear.
When she was like, you did nothing wrong. And then Gypsy Rose was like, no, murder is wrong. And Joy's just like, I get if you say so.
But honestly, in that situation, like, I feel like if she didn't murder her mom probably would have killed her eventually.
100%. Absolutely. Like, I feel bad that she was put away for this long. She did not. I don't understand. I'm sure they tried to raise the case for it, but I don't know how that wasn't self-defense. I don't know how that wasn't like a reaction to trauma. And I don't really know anything about the situation except for like the basics of what had happened. So I'm sure that they went through it all, but like, wow, like I felt it's like so justified in my mind. I mean, in the sense that I like it's morally justified, not legally. But
the American justice system that's failing more women.
It's almost a cliche now because I see it in the comments like every day, anytime somebody talks about the United States. But like you always see that top comment as like the U.S. is like a third world country in a Gucci belt. And it's like, yeah, we are.
It's very accurate.
Yeah.
Oh.
But at least it would be like a 1980s Tom Ford Gucci belt because that was the last time like America actually like had anything decent.
I don't remember. There was at one point in time where everyone was dying to move to America, the land of opportunity and dreams.
Yeah, now the only people that want to move here are the ones that are actually dying.
Well, literally.
Like the ones that are coming from South America and governments that like we totally had a hand in completely putting into chaos. This is a food podcast.
Let's lighten up the mood and talk about things that make us happy. Food. And let's not spiral. I think it's because I'm just sick and I'm like depressed right now that I'm just.
You don't. It's so easy for you to spiral, and you don't have the energy to like veer me away from my automatic propensity to spiral.
I apologize for how dark this podcast has been.
Maybe we should open a Patreon and have like a chat room. Isn't that what Bob and Monet do?
Kim and John spirals on Patreon.
On Patreon. Oh, I haven't put a video for this out yet, but like I tried this like instant bibimbap thing.
Tell me more.
It was basically this. It was this giant plastic bowl, and inside it was a smaller aluminum bowl, and then this pouch. And you poured water on the pouch, and the pouch exploded, like literally started to steam up, and you put the bibimbap ingredients on top of it. So basically, and all of the ingredients, like from the rice, even the water, there was the water that went on to cook the rice was in a little bag to put in. So I think this was for like camping or something like that. And it pretty much made this, like, I would say it was just slightly less good than the bibimbap on a Korean airline flight.
Oh, wow.
It's not bad, which isn't bad. So, like, I was like, oh, it pretty much was like bibimbap in a box. And it took 15 minutes.
That's actually kind of long.
I mean, considering the fact that you don't use anything and you didn't have to supply anything, no electricity, nothing. And it just cooked this. It cooked rice and vegetables, and there was gochujang in there, and there was kimchi, and there was like seaweed.
When it comes to like ready to eat meals, oh my God, Asians, like that's when you truly feel like when you talk about like Asian technology and how it's so advanced, you truly
we got that
feel
convenience shit down. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Even like, those like Chinese, like instant hot pot. Have you ever used one?
Yes. I think it was like a Korean version of that.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like I used one, and the fact that you just pour water in it and it gets hot, and it gets really, really hot, like boiling hot. I was like shook.
Did you use it outside?
No.
Yeah. So when I used it, every air quality sensor in my house asked if I was okay.
Oh my God.
So it was like, oh, there's a lot of volatile organic compounds in the air all of a sudden. Like my air quality, lowest is best, is normally hovering at a 30. And after using that thing inside, it shot up to like 500.
Oh my God.
And everything was going crazy. And even my like thermostat, which has an air quality sensor in it, was like, wow, are you okay? So I opened up all the windows and I turned on the house fan and circulated all the air in there. But like, apparently you're not supposed to use those things inside.
Oh, it's supposed to be like outside when you're camping or something?
Yeah, it puts out a lot of bad shit into your immediate air. So except I didn't know this because it didn't have it on the box. But if you see like an instant hot pot or an instant bibimbap thing, use that outside.
And they just recently opened up like a ramen restaurant here in LA. And it's like those ones in Asia where you pick like an instant ramen noodle from like hundreds of choices, and then you put it in like this tray with like toppings that you pick out, and then your instant ramen is like ready for you in like 5 minutes.
Oh, so do they use like regular packet ramen, or do they use just like
it's like regular packet ramen? You pick whatever you want to eat.
Oh.
And then you add on like whatever toppings you want to add.
Like a little,
like dumplings or cheese or rice cakes.
So it's like a ramen version of like one of those make it yourself yogurt places where you pick toppings and stuff.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
So but the comments for those are always like so controversial because people are always like, $7 for instant ramen? I can make instant ramen at home.
Yeah, but you're not going to make all the other stuff, though.
You can make anything at home, technically, you know?
Yeah, you can make anything at home. Like, people said that about, like, cereal bars, but, like, it's not the fact that you're going to eat those things every day. You're going for a novelty thing, and you're also going because, like, maybe they have, like, all the different kinds of eggs, and you don't want to go through making your own poached egg, and you don't want to make the dumplings that they're putting on top of there, or like go through buying all the pickles that you can buy. Like, it's really expensive for the initial thing, but at the end of the day, you can make yourself a bowl that you would never make at home, and that's worth $5.
Exactly, and the convenience.
Yeah.
And also, when it comes to these businesses charging whatever they're worth, no one is forcing you to do it.
Yep.
If you don't want to fucking like pay $7 for instant ramen noodle, don't do it. But like, you don't have to like write sentences about like how this is like the fucking dumbest idea and be like how do you have like so much time and energy to just hate on something that you're not gonna like take, for a service that you're not gonna use.
I mean, I feel like complaining about the price of something that you can do at home is a quintessential part of the Asian experience because that's my grandma.
Mm. I mean, like, was this something I'm going to use personally? Probably not, but I appreciate it being there.
We should go. Let's go when I'm back. When I'm back over there.
Oh, when are you coming?
I don't know.
Blink,
Eventually.
Someday.
Yeah. Oddly enough, my calendar is filling up very quickly.
You're so busy.
Didn't you just say in the last episode that you have like tons of stuff coming up? And
I was talking about you.
You couldn't talk about it on the podcast?
No, we're both very busy. So has anything interesting happened to you this past week?
Well, Little John has been out of town this week for work, and so I have just been churning out...
Hosting sex orgies every day?
Yes, Kim.
Just like wild, like
in Michigan.
Strung out in your like living room every day.
Yes, that's what. And if by that you mean just like making a lot of short form food videos, then yes, that is exactly
People like
what I was
overdosing
doing.
and like falling off the stairs.
Yes. God, not my stairs. My stairs are so nice. That would make me so upset. No, I did stuff like I made like a burger video, experimenting to see if like I could use tofu to make medium burgers cooked to medium juicy, and it was very successful. And yeah, I really have no life. I'm doing stuff like that.
No, I mean, you have a little humble life that you like living, you know?
Not you calling my life humble.
It is humble life.
It's simple. Well, yeah. It's been nice though. Like this is my it's my job, it's my work. But not having like the book looming over my head has made this so much easier. I'm making like 3 videos a day, so I could never do that even when I had the book to write.
But then you don't have a reason to go to a cafe, order a little croissant and a little cup of coffee, pull your laptop out and pretend like you're typing into it.
Well, I wouldn't be pretending I was actually writing a book, but I can still do that. I mean, like I have there's always like tons of email to respond to and stuff, so yeah. I'm trying to go to cafes that will let me bring boba. I'm so annoying. The closest and nicest cafe to my house is only a block away, but they don't allow for dogs to go inside.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, your dog is well behaved, but some people in their dogs are like assholes.
It was due to someone else's dog. I think like I had heard that somebody brought a dog in there that was like aggressive around other dogs, and somebody else brought a dog and there was like an actual fight that happened in the cafe. Understandable that they like as a result of that was like service animals only, but like people who don't have well-behaved dogs just I don't know. I just
I feel bad for them. I feel bad for the dogs and I feel bad for the owners.
Yeah.
And before anybody's like, well, my dog, he's like, he's like rescue and just recently adopted, but we're not talking about you. We're specifically talking about dogs that have bad behavior because you're a bad owner.
Well, my dogs were rescues. Here's what I think people should like consider doing more often. If you were going to spend a ton of money on like a designer dog, you should take that money, go adopt a dog. Most of the times you can adopt a dog for free, and then have that dog trained by a professional trainer for the amount that you would have spent on like a designer dog. And by that time, unless you can afford to do both, like in which case more power to you, but like I guarantee you, like having a mutt that does not pull or that walks by your side, whether or not he's on a leash, always have your dog on a leash. But like some trainers will train your dog to just walk by your side with no leash. Your experience as a dog owner for having like a trained companion is so much better. And this is me speaking as a person who's had like both kinds of dogs in my life, both like trained and untrained. Like, oh my God, it makes so much of a difference. Like I go on more walks. Kind of selfish for me to figure this out about myself, but like now that my dog does not pull or anything, just like chills next to me, I like to go on walks more because it's just so easy and so nice.
My dog used to pull all the time when he was young, but I don't know why he just randomly stopped pulling one day.
Oh, Butter's just portly and tired and happy now.
Like I don't think people understand like how good of a dog my dog is.
Butter is amazing, except for the time that he ran away once.
Yeah, but
yeah, that I lost 5 years of my life.
Oh my God!
You texted me, and I was like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, I'm glad he was found, and he's okay.
Yeah.
And now he brings me so much joy in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, if you have the flu, the dog can't get your flu, right?
I do not believe that human influenza can be transferred to canines.
Okay. I don't understand how like certain flus work because like we're able to catch like flu from like birds, but not dogs. Like how? I
mean, it's like
yeah, but
when diseases transfer from like species to species, it is very, very rare. When it's usually in situations of like the person has like a lower immune system or something like that. I remember like there was a situation where this person who was like undergoing chemo or something like that, and so had like a really low immune system. And I could have said this completely wrong. Feel free to correct me if I did not tell the story correctly. But the guy also had like a tapeworm in his body. And his immune system was so messed up that the guy caught the tapeworm's cancer.
Whoa.
And I don't know if he died from that, but yeah, his body was so messed up that he actually caught cancer from a completely different species. It is wild.
Well, hopefully doesn't happen to me.
I think you'll be fine.
The worst part though is about like being sick and all this is just not having an appetite and like just like having like a small appetite too. It's been like such a mind fuck.
Really?
Yeah, just to like not want anything all day. Only thing like I can like really handle right now is like popsicles.
Oh, that does sound like the flu. I've started like cutting down on food, and it's like started in my like a little bit of my cutting phase.
Oh, are you working in your summer body?
Yeah,
trader.
I am trader. No, I had sous vide chicken breasts today, but they were in Jamaican jerk seasoning, so it was still very, very good. They were sous vide, so they were really juicy. So it was a pretty good dinner. I just have to think. I just have a lot more, chicken breast and vegetables on rotation, but also a lot of like salmon, which I love. I love salmon poke and salmon tartare. So
yeah, I think like a lot of people when they're dieting, they tend to forget there are a lot of seasoning and spices that doesn't have like fat or sodium.
Oh my God,
your food significantly.
Yeah.
Like, you don't just have to eat boiled chicken breast.
Yeah, no. Jamaican jerk seasoning is like the best thing ever. And there is salt on it, which is fine. But otherwise, it's just spices. And it's so delicious. But I'm the type of person that I can eat, honestly, If I had to, I could pretty happily just eat like the same thing over and over again for like months and months on end and just
Really?
get into I can. And then every now and then, maybe like once every week or once every 2 weeks, just like go to a nice restaurant or something rather. But unfortunately for me, Little John cannot do that.
He needs to spice up his
Yeah.
a little culinary flavor.
But I made some oxtails and golden curry for when he gets home. It'll be a nice little celebration. I love oxtails, so it'll be my treat to myself and him.
Oxtails are so expensive now.
I know. Oh my God, $10 a pound in Michigan.
Oh my God.
Yeah. When I first started buying them here, they were $3 a pound.
Mm-hmm.
$3. Like, insane. It makes sense because it's such a small part of the cow compared to the rest of it, but god damn.
But it's like, no one was eating oxtails like, the way we do now. Like 20 years ago. I remember like my grandma or my mom, make a giant pot of oxtail and, and we eat like soups for days. Yeah.
And like this latest thing, like I had spent $60 on oxtails for two. It's like, what the hell?
Oxtail is like a premium ingredient now,
It is. It totally is. Might as well just buy prime rib.
Yeah, at that point.
At
prime
that point,
rib,
just
short
buy yourself.
rib, whatever.
Yeah. In fact, I think people should do that more. I'm sure prime rib is so much cheaper when it's off season, when it's like not the holiday season.
Yeah.
Like I wonder how much a prime rib roast would cost in the summer. Well, probably a lot because of grilling season. But like now, maybe I should make a prime rib now.
It is corn beef.
This diet is going really well. Corned beef season, you said?
Yes. I love corned beef and cabbage.
Do you really?
Yes.
Oh, that's so funny. That studio where we like first met is right next to a corned beef factory.
What?
Yeah.
You have to make some corned beef content.
Okay.
Maybe like, I don't know, some type like, you figure it out.
I make the first recipe for my book, and it did not make it into the book, unfortunately, was corned beef noodles.
Oh,
was a corned beef and cabbage noodle dish. So basically, like you pretty much, how you boil the corned beef and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you season it in a way that you can actually like drink the water as a broth. And then you add noodles, and then you cook like some Napa cabbage in there. It was pretty good.
I mean, also like a lot of the spices that's used in corned beef could work in harmony with like 5 Spice.
Totally did. That's exactly what I did.
But I think my favorite part is like the cabbage. How the cabbage just like absorbs all the flavor of the corned beef and then becomes like so sweet.
Yeah.
And then if there's like a little piece of potato and carrots too.
Works very nice.
Conjunction.
Where can you get corned beef and cabbage in LA?
Grocery stores.
Oh, you would make it?
Like you make it, but grocery store you can just buy the corned beef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought there was a place where you could go get it. We should make corned beef and cabbage together on the podcast.
I mean, corned beef and cabbage is so easy to make at home.
Yeah.
Especially day after St. Patrick's Day. They all go on clearance. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's fine too because they last forever.
Yeah. I want corned beef and cabbage now. Like also, like corned beef and sauerkraut is like a good match, which is basically like Irish kimchi.
It is exactly what I was thinking. I was like, that's like solongtang and like kimchi.
So can you make like kimchi Reuben with like corned beef and kimchi?
I'm sure somebody's. How has David Chang not done that already?
Maybe he has. I don't know. He's throwing all sorts of weird Asian shit with cheese. So
Yeah.
oh my god, I may sound like a David Chang hater, but I'm not.
I didn't think what you said was like hating on him.
Mm.
I like him because like he comes off as like a snacky guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was like, oh, that sounds good, but it doesn't matter if it's highbrow or lowbrow. Like I'm just gonna do this to like when he put those eggs on the potato chips.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was stoner food.
Or when you put meatballs in the taco shells.
Yeah. He really does cook like everyone's uncle.
But he was like, so like proud of this dude. It's like, you can only get this at Sizzlers.
Yeah.
As the people are like searching for this dish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gonna be okay?
I think I'll be okay.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. Through my I can't even think of a word right now because I'm so sick. But thank you for listening to us ramble, and everybody take care of your health. Your health is very important. And also tell your loved ones how much you appreciate them, because there might not be a tomorrow for you to go to. So with that being said, John, have a good night.
Good night, Kim. I want to say, though, your sick voice is very sultry.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Would you top it or bottom bunk it?
I think we'd be a side situation.
A side?
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you. All right. Follow us on our Instagram, One for the Table. And also, actually, we have a listener question.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Way to bring it up at the conclusion of the podcast.
It's okay. We're keeping it fresh and new. Okay, let's see. All right. Omar has asked us, what are your thoughts on insects as a food source? Have you tried any?
I can think of a place where we both tried an insect as a food source. It was in a city in the Midwest, and the meal was not good. It was so bad that we felt bad even pretending to talk about the restaurant. Me, you, and Kushbu.
Oh. And every single person from that town was like, oh, we're so glad you went to this restaurant. Aren't they great? And I'm like, it's the worst fucking piece of garbage restaurant that I've ever been to. Like, I cannot believe everybody's like fucking hyping this place up. Because literally, when we posted on social media that we were there, everyone was like, I love this restaurant. I love it so much. Right? Yes. And it was literally like, objectively, it was like some of the worst food I've ever had.
It was so bad. Like, but anyways, yes, there was a bug course, but I had also had insects in other shapes and forms too, mostly in the form of like dried crickets. But I don't know. It's whatever. Like, I've never had a bug prepared in a delicious way, unless you're counting shellfish, which are bugs. Like that thing that people say is like, if you're allergic to shrimp and lobster, you're also allergic to cockroaches. So like they do count. But
so I actually ate bugs growing up. One of the Korean street food is called bandegi, which is like a silkworm pupa.
Oh.
And they they take a bunch of like these like silkworm. Is it pupe or pupa? I don't know. Whatever.
Pupe.
And they basically...
I like the way you say it, though.
Pupa. So uncultured.
I don't care. It's so cute. I love it.
So basically, they cook it in this like giant pot with like I don't even know what the seasoning spices they uses. And you pay for by the cup.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually like 50 cents. And then you get like a small paper cup full of them with a toothpick.
Mm-hmm.
And the flavor is really, really nutty. When you first bite into it, it's super crunchy and then really, really juicy in the inside. And the juice inside is almost like creamy. I know it sounds absolutely appalling, but it's one of those things like if you didn't grow up eating it, you probably would think it's so weird and you probably wouldn't like it. As someone who grew up eating it, I love it.
I would try it. I mean, is it, when you say crunchy, is it crunchy like shrimp that's been cooked, like snappy crunchy? Or is it like crunchy like you're crunching on something like chips?
Oh no, like snappy crunchy.
Okay. So like cooked shrimp. Yeah. I find that bugs have that texture where it's like kind of like bouncy, crunchy, snappy texture. Yeah. I don't mind the taste of it as long as like when you've eaten like a dirty shrimp and then you get that flavor of like musty grassiness.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that flavor because that's like shrimp poop. But it also shrimp poops whatever because shrimps eat vegetables, so it's just like musty veggies. But
like the idea of a poop.
Yeah, and I know like when I bite into a bug and I taste that flavor, I'm just like, oh, great, meaning bug poop. And so that's not pleasant. I also know though that like with the environment being as terrible as it is, that bugs are probably like the future as far as sustainable protein goes. So might as well get used to the idea anyway.
I mean, we might have no choice once you run out of food. So
yeah, exactly. It will just be like literally seaweed and insects.
Yeah. Which seaweed is like a great source of everything.
Oh yeah, totally. And like I'm just grateful that I think it's delicious. So.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, I feel so sorry for those people like that doesn't like seafood, including seaweed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a terrible. Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah. Oh. So many people I know from Midwest are like this.
Yeah, they haven't had exposure to decent fish.
Yeah.
Like freshwater fish is fine. But there's no flavor to it. Well, there's flavor to catfish, but as far as the rest of it, it's like freshwater fish is only just fine.
No, but once you learn the joy of like salted mackerel,
yeah,
with the crispy skin that you peel back,
oh, so good,
and then the meat underneath is juicy and oily, and then you take your chopstick and you pick off a big chunk and you eat with a warm bowl of rice. Baby.
So good. Is that what you're going to have for tonight for dinner?
No, I have no appetite. I'll probably have another popsicle and cry myself to sleep.
Okay. Well, you go get some rest and I will see you again next week.
Thank you for tuning in, everyone. This is Kim. And that's John.
Oh, and this is John. We've never ended the podcast like this before.
I don't know. First time I'm doing it sick.
Okay.
Your first time doing it with that haircut.
It's a nice haircut.
And hopefully the last. Thank you, everyone.
Wow.